Sherman and Tingle in the morning.
It was 37 years ago, Tingle, in 1986, that the Academy Award-winning movie Howard the Duck hit theaters, which producer Cheese was in.
He was in that movie?
He was in Howard the Duck. He told me...
Do you have a starring role? Big starring role? Thousands of dollars?
He told me in passing. Do you remember that movie? It was so ridiculous.
It was ridiculous as can be, yeah. I do remember that.
Also, on this date in 1981, of all things, 42 years ago, MTV was launched. Yeah, back in the day.
I used to love Headbangers Ball. That was my show.
Ricky Rackman, your guy.
Yep, that was it.
I always liked
Kenny wasn't like the other kids.
Remote Control. Remember Remote Control?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Keith Olber.
It was very informative.
Girl said
It was
yes.
just such a goofy, low-budget show that just, I don't know. I don't know what about it. Then I will say I did like MTV News, and I don't know why I liked MTV News. It was not for Kurt Loder. It was Tabitha Soren. Tabitha Soren. My love for Tabitha Soren goes deep. Matter of fact, I think she might be the first redhead that I liked. And then I ended up marrying one.
Why did you like her?
I don't know what it was with Tabitha. I've stalked her online. She's an artist now. She sells art. So sophisticated. Oh, I love Tabitha Soren. But, the original VJs, they're still kicking. We talked to Mark Goodman a while back, and we were just asking him about, what was it like? I mean, that's an amazing feat. You were there right at the beginning, and this is what original VJ Mark Goodman had to say.
It was, that the whole experience at MTV through the 80s was, it's just a dream. It literally, and at this point, it feels like a dream. It's sheer luck, man. I stepped in it. Sheer luck.
Can you tell us about the day? Go back in time and tell us about the day when you found out you got the job.
When I found out that I got this job, I was obviously thrilled, but it came after months of negotiation because I was under contract to a rock station, the number one rock station in New York, WPLJ, and I was like 6 months into my contract. And so I literally booked a vacation and I left, and I was praying that my lawyers would work it out, which they did because ABC was like, well, he's going to some cable channel. It's not like he's going to radio. There'll be no competition or anything. And so they let me go. The rest is rock history.
What was the audition like? What'd they have you do?
The first one was literally me on a stool in a black studio, with the glass and the control room on the other side.
Right.
It was black except for a spotlight on me and a copy stand. And I was reading, music news and stuff. After that one, then the next one was the one. There was a guy named Robert Morton who was also David Letterman's producer. And the assignment was you're going to walk from the easel, back announce an Eagles song, walk from the easel to the couch, and throw to another song. I thought, I can do that. So I did that. I walked and talked at the same time. And then I sat down with Robert Morton, who attempted to portray Billy Joel, and I had to interview him. And he was Billy Joel, with a hangover and an attitude. It was just
He's trying to trip you up. That's great.
I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. I love that town. I worked in radio there, so I lived there. I hosted the lottery there. I love that town like no other.
Well, don't think that MTV is over, because I'm here to tell you that MTV later on today has a 3-hour marathon of Catfish, the TV show. And then on top of that, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for 2 hours.
And then
that's fantastic.
Followed by 8 hours of ridiculousness.
That's right. I think Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is the exact same thing as Maury without the DNA test. It's just everybody screams at each other for an entire hour.
It's called love, man.
That's exactly what it's called.
Just throwing a little hip-hop.
That or stool.
The Sherman and Tingle Show. Mornings on 97.1 FM The Drive, Chicago's classic rock.